I'm currently doing a PhD at the University of Cambridge. I have a first-class Dean's List Master's degree in chemistry from Imperial College London, and I also have 4 A stars in my A-Levels. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a topic which is slightly different from the videos that you will see on my channel, and that is surrounding the whole fiasco that's going on in the education sector right now with regards to A-Level and GCSE results. So if you're new here, I'm Arib and I'm currently doing a PhD at the University of Cambridge. I have a first-class Dean's List Master's degree in chemistry from Imperial College London, and I also have 4 A stars in my A-Levels. Now that my CV pitch is over, on a more serious note, if that's all you knew about me, you'll probably think that I've had an upper-class, privileged upbringing, but in actual fact, I've achieved all of these academic merits by going to a state or government-controlled school, but also being the first generation in my family to have gone to university. And I want to show you all that if I can get to where I am today in terms of my academic journey, you can also do it irrespective of where you've come from and what your background is. My educational journey was not as linear or straightforward as I may have anticipated at the time, and I will elaborate on this in the later parts of this video. But if you're interested in education, self-improvement, but also light topics such as fashion, grooming, and lifestyle, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. This video is for you if you've just finished your A-Levels or your GCSEs and you're moving on to the next stage in your academic journey. But if you're also watching this and you finished your formal education, I'm sure you have a younger sibling, a younger cousin, or even a friend who is going through this transition in their life. So I'd want you to share this with them. So I thought I'd do this video given the current shambles going on in the education sector globally, but also within the UK. And it all started with an algorithm developed by government officials, which predominantly are privileged, privately educated individuals, was used to award A-level grades to students nationally. So the algorithm was based on the school's academic performance. So obviously schools which were performing very, very well were being awarded the top grades. And those are the schools which are either private or selective. And the schools which are government owned or government controlled, such as state schools, were the ones that are suffering. And in this whole mess, what happened was approximately 40% of students nationally were not given the grades they deserved. So straight A-star students were being downgraded because they went to a school which wasn't selective or private and therefore wasn't performing as well as the elite schools in the UK. And to me, that frankly is like ridiculous, and I can't believe it's something that had happened, because I think grades should not be awarded based on where you've come from or what your upbringing is or which school you attend, but instead it should be based purely on your academic merit and your own intellect which you've put into your exams. So although this whole situation has calmed down a fair amount, what it's highlighted is the inherent injustice and discrimination that still exists within the education sector. And this discrimination is targeted towards students from less privileged socioeconomic backgrounds, which, although it has improved to some extent, I think there still needs to be a lot more change that needs to be implemented moving forward. In my opinion, students who come from less privileged backgrounds need to work exceptionally hard in order to secure positions at these prestigious institutions. And although attending these elite institutions offers a wealth of opportunities to you, I personally think that irrespective of what institution you've gone to or come from, if you have an education, you have the toolkit to take on the world and address any issues that you think need to change, whether that be in business, politics, a particular industry, but also I think you have the toolkit necessary to leave your own stamp and legacy behind in this world. So I'm aware that A-levels are a very, very stressful time for students, and I'm sure that it can be quite daunting as well. But I just want to reassure you that if you did not receive the grades that you wanted, and you did not secure a position at your top university of choice, it's not the end of the world. Like, life does go on. As I said previously, it does not matter which university you go to, as long as you make the most of the opportunities available to you within that institution. And if you find that there aren't any opportunities available, network with people and just make opportunities available to you, but also to other students. So yeah, so don't worry, everything will be okay. It's not worth stressing over. Your exam results are not the be all or end all in order for you to have a successful future, because your journey ahead is what you make of it. Going back to when I did my A-levels, which is a long time ago now, I had this aspiration of going to study at Cambridge for medicine. And I got rejected not once, but twice to study at Cambridge. And at the time, I was extremely disappointed and extremely upset and confused as to how someone with 4 A stars at A-Level, first predicted and then achieved, could be rejected from Cambridge. I was working so hard towards becoming a doctor, and having that aspiration or dream shattered multiple times destroyed me. For some reason, the opportunity to study medicine just wasn't happening for me. So instead, I received an offer to study chemistry at Imperial College London. And I remember from my interview at Imperial, the professor during the interview said that I would be wasted as a doctor. And those are words that I will never forget. I'm grateful for him telling me that, because now I'm here sitting talking to you as a chemistry graduate from Imperial with a first class degree, but also someone who's now doing a PhD at Cambridge in chemistry. Back then, getting into Cambridge seemed virtually impossible. So what I want to highlight to you all is that life is not linear. And if it was, I think it would be pretty boring, because you wouldn't queue up for a roller coaster which is just a straight line, right? I hope. You would obviously queue up for a roller coaster which has many ups and downs, because that's what gives you an adrenaline rush. So in hindsight, I'm thankful that I got rejected from medicine, because it's made me into who I am today, and it's made me a stronger person. I'm a strong believer in fate, and I think that whatever is meant to be will happen, but it will happen at the right time for you. So if you've got rejected from your universities, or you don't know what you want to do right now, it's absolutely normal, it's absolutely fine. You're still very young, and I think everything will pan out the way it's meant to pan out. So don't overstress and don't freak out. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I wanted to make sure that you get some motivation to keep on going. And I also want to point out that something that you may think is going terrible right now in your life or in your academic journey, it's most probably a blessing in disguise, and it will get better eventually. So if you'd like me to do more videos like this on education and my university life, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys very soon.